Download this code from codegive.com, link in the description below. Certainly. Day 13 of an LWC, Lightning Web Component, Bootcamp typically focuses on using the Fetch API and debugging techniques in JavaScript. Let's explore this topic with a detailed tutorial that includes explanations, code examples, and debugging tips. Fetch API in LWC. The Fetch API provides a modern way to make network requests. In LWC, it is commonly used to interact with external APIs or services. Below, we will cover how to use the Fetch API in a Lightning Web Component, LWC, along with debugging strategies. 1. Setting up your LWC component. First, create a new Lightning Web Component. You can name it fetchexample. Command to create the component. Bash. sfdx force lightning component create type LWC component name fetchexample outputdir force app /main /default /LWC. 2. Fetching data with the Fetch API. In your fetchexample.js file, you will use the Fetch API to retrieve data. Here's a simple example that fetches data from a public API, like JSON placeholder. Fetchexample.js. JavaScript. Import lightning element, track from LWC. Export default class fetchexample extends lightning element. Add track data. Add track error. Connected callback. This.fetch data. Async fetch data. Const URL equals https://json placeholder.typicode.com/posts. Try. Const response equals await fetch, URL. If, response.ok. Throw new error, http error, status, $response.status. This.data equals await response.json. Catch, error. This.error equals error.message. Console.error, fetch error, error. 3. Displaying data in HTML. You can now display the fetched data in your component's HTML file. Fetchexample.html. HTML. Template. Template if true equals data. Template for each equals data for item equals post. Leaky equals post.id post.title/li. /template. /ul. /template. Template if true equals error. P error, error/p. /template. /template. 4. Debugging tips. When working with the Fetch API and JavaScript in general, debugging can be crucial. Here are some tips to help you debug effectively. 1. Use console.log. Insert console.log statements at various points in your code to track variables and application flow. For example, JavaScript. Console.log, fetching data from URL. 2. Check network requests. Use the browser's developer tools, F12, to inspect network requests. In Chrome, go to the Network tab to see all API calls. This will allow you to inspect the request and response details. 3. Handle errors gracefully. Make sure to catch errors and provide meaningful messages. This will help you understand what went wrong when something fails. JavaScript. If, response.ok. Throw new error, http error, status, $response.status. 4. Use breakpoints. Set breakpoints in your JavaScript code using the developer tools. This allows you to pause execution and inspect variable values at specific execution points. 5. LWC debug mode. Always make sure you are running your LWC in debug mode. This can provide more detailed error messages and stack traces. 5. Summary. In this tutorial, we covered how to use the Fetch API in a Lightning Web Component to fetch data from an external API. We also discussed various debugging techniques to troubleshoot issues effectively. By following these steps, you'll be able to successfully make API calls and debug your LWC components. Happy coding!